Hey guys, in today's video I'll be doing another tropical update on the system that the models are really hinting at now to form around Monday, this upcoming Monday, so only a few days away. And first I want to show you guys the ocean analysis and show you the sea surface temperature anomalies right now. The Enzo region has been trending now to be right around perfectly neutral. It has been pretty much right around the perfectly neutral line at 0.0. As of right now, it's at negative 0.001 degrees Celsius. And I think going forward, the trend will be more towards the fact that it will start to trend a lot cooler because of the fact that the Kelvin wave that is moving through right now, it's going to fully enter the Atlantic within the next few days, and so we'll see the temperature start dropping for the Enzo region. So that's the good news there. You can see the 7-day change here. It's been generally warming. You see more of those yellow-orange colors, more of those instead of the blues because of that. And as of right now, I mean, this is really what it looks like, and you can see there's kind of like more like wave type features there, and divots, because of that Kelvin wave. Once it fully moves through and into the Gulf, Caribbean, Atlantic region, we'll see the temperature start to trend more downward. So let's look at the models, and I'll show you what each of the models will go to the GFS and CMC on here on Tropical Tidbits, and then we'll do the Euro on Pivotal Weather. I'll show you the Euro on Pivotal Weather. With this system, which is interesting right now, is that the GFS still kind of has it, but it's more of the fact that it has it kind of at its peak here in the Gulf, which in a way doesn't fully surprise me, but it's just the fact that it was more showing it more developing once it gets into the Atlantic, but you can see it doesn't really do that with the GFS. So with this particular system, in this case with the GFS model, I'm gonna have to go more with the new version that is coming out now. So you can see the new version has it coming down as well, right around in the Florida near the Gulf, and then into the Atlantic, and then it'll really strengthen. And I think this will be a lot closer to what will really happen. Of course, with this one, it has it strengthening pretty far down. Let's zoom in here to the eastern U.S., and you can see it's at like 984 millibars, 981. So, of course, I don't think it's really going to get that strong, but I think it will at least get below 1,000 millibars, unlike what the actual GFS model is showing, the one that we really trust right now. This new one won't really be the actual GFS for probably within the next year. We'll have to wait till like next year, January, February, March, for this new one to take over as the actual GFS. But I think with this new one is really handling it a lot better than the current GFS model we all trust right now. So I think it will really. Oh shoot! Sorry about that. My hand just totally did that. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think this newer version of the GFS that is still like kind of delayed with each model run that comes out, but it's just showing it a lot better and a lot closer to what I think will actually happen, what I think a lot of you think will probably actually happen. So yeah, I mean, let's honestly just compare what the GFS is showing with this system. Let's show you what it's showing for now the wind and vorticity. Here's the wind, and you can see it comes down into the Atlantic, and it comes out here. It looks like at its peak, it'll maybe get between 40 and 46 knots, so it'll maybe just barely be a very weak tropical storm. And then with the vorticity, you can see it's really not showing it all that well defined at all. unlike with what the newer version of the GFS is showing, the newer model, you can see with, let's show you the wind first. Oh, actually, it only has the, oh, here, actually, yeah, this is fine. It has the system coming down into the Florida and then into the Atlantic. There you go, you see that now, and then it really spins up and gets a lot stronger. Of course, this is not really gonna, it's not really gonna get that far above like 50, above 48 knots, like above, getting towards like above like 64 knots or something, and like getting that strong, getting towards a Category 1. Though I do think this model is handling it a lot better, so I think it will most likely be more of a moderate to strong tropical storm in the end. If we really do see this start to form and we see the NHC really start to monitor it, I don't think it will become a strong tropical storm to like Category 1 because of the fact of like just where it's really heading and just forming in the first place and then heading. Because all it really has is a Gulf Stream here. I mean, the waters are still generally very warm. If I were to show you that, let's see, ocean analysis here, let's go to the North Atlantic. And you can see as of right now, the temperatures are very warm here in this region. It's still like around 80 degrees, 70 to 80 degrees and above. So it would definitely still support the system forming, but it's just that it's not really it's not really going to get that strong where it's going to become a like Category 1 or something potentially. I think it'll at least get to a strong tropical storm at the most. So let's go back here, and yeah, I think it shows it getting down at most to like around 980 millibars. I think it'll at most get down to like 990 millibars. So I definitely think the system will end up becoming Edouard. I think this will be our E-name storm. And I'll show you what the CMC is showing for it. This is the newer run as well with the GFS, the 12Z run. And well, what's weird about the CMC model with this new run is that especially with what it's trending to, it's not really showing it forming at all, which is very strange. It kind of shows it forming way farther north and not really forming that well at all. So that's really interesting to me. But I really definitely think that the CMC has been, I think, really just the one outlier out of all three of the models showing this system lately. It's just really not been showing it that well at all. And then here's the Euro. I'll show you the Euro now. Let's bring this forward in time. You can see there's that precipitation, there's the low, and there's the low forming. And I mean, even the Euro is trending it a lot weaker now, but I don't see that as the case. I think they will start to trend it more to make it more stronger, in all honesty. I guess we'll just have to give it another few days or something. The NHC still hasn't started monitoring it yet, even within its 5-day forecast. So I guess, I don't know, I guess they're just waiting to see if the models will really start to agree on the system fully forming. But I really think this will become Edouard. That's the next name on the list, by the way. If we look at the 2020 Atlantic Hurricane Seasons page on Wikipedia, we've already had our first 4 named systems, Arthur through Dolly. So we've already had through the D name already. Next system will be Edouard. And I think this system on Monday will become Edouard, in all honesty. Especially because of where it's forming, it doesn't look like there's really going to be any frontal system that will pick it up. Yeah, if we bring this out a bit, yeah, there's not really any front, so it has like really all of the time it has. And I mean, even if there is like this kind of a weak front, it's not really going to be strong enough to really catch it up and just totally dismantle it. I think it will have time to form into a system. and get stronger, especially with especially as we see in the next few days. I think the GFS, CMC, and Euro will all start to really agree on the fact that we'll at least have some kind of tropical storm at most, whether it's a weaker one or a stronger one. Because I'm definitely at this point siding more with this newer version of the GFS that will soon take over this old version. This is going to be like version 16 of the GFS. So at this point, really now, this GFS we're using is technically old, and this is the new one. So we should probably start pretty soon to go ahead and more rely on this one, especially as we head farther into getting into like fall and winter. But again, I think this system will definitely become Edouard, and I think the actual GFS model we're trusting now, along with the CMC and Euro, they'll all start to really trend it to show it getting stronger and actually becoming more of a tropical system, a named tropical system potentially. So I think at this point the NHC won't really start monitoring it yet until like Friday maybe. We'll just have to see how that goes. And again, I think what my forecast for July for the tropics is that we'll have 4 named systems before we enter August. So through July up until we get to the first day of August, we'll have a total of another 4 named storms. And I think this will be the first system to start that. And I also think this will be the first system to really have this trend of getting tons of systems forming through the peak of the season. I don't really foresee much of a lull again with the season, especially where we're at now, and especially going forward in time and where we're headed, because of the fact that the peak of the season really starts within the next month and like 2 weeks, so it's getting very close. So really, yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Again, please subscribe below if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed. If you like weather-related content, please subscribe, because I do all of that on here, and it's just tropics. I do severe weather updates. I'll do a heat wave, update you guys on the heat wave video, on the heat wave that's going to be happening, especially for the northern parts of up here in the U.S., for New England, the northern, northeast, Midwest, especially the upper Midwest and the northern plains, but particularly for the Midwest, Ohio Valley, northern, northeast, and New England. I'll start to update you guys pretty soon on that. But for today's video, it's just this update on the tropics. I think this system, it won't be as strong as what the GFS, this new model of the GFS, this new version of the GFS is showing. I think it will get down to around 990 millibars, so I think we'll see at most a strong tropical storm. But I don't know, we'll just have to see how the actual GFS we're all trusting now goes with it, especially seeing if the CMC and Euro, all 3 of them, will start to agree on the system really forming again. Because this is honestly getting a bit frustrating to see when the next tropical system is going to form. You know, because, I mean, especially with when it's going to form, the time frame where it's going to form, especially when it's starting to form, that's going to be the time frame where it's going to really start to get a lot more favorable for tropical systems to form, really July 6th and onward, and July 6th is this upcoming Monday. So, you know, we're getting into that time now. So yeah, I mean, we'll just have to, again, see how the models trend over the next few days, see if the NHC will actually monitor this system at some point soon. Yeah, please subscribe below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because I really think you'll enjoy this channel with all the weather content I do, because I do tropics again, I do severe weather as well, updates, heat wave updates. And as we get into the colder seasons, I'll update you guys on the snowstorms and stuff. So please consider subscribing. Also, if you've already subscribed, please like, comment below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.